Hey, hope that you guys are doing amazing. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Okay, we're going to get right into it. So, we have a special guest. Okay, we want to talk about how womb healing is life changing, how it will save your life, and why so many women need to go on a womb healing journey and a natural womb healing journey. And this is so important, especially when we have a collective of women dealing with, really horrible periods. We have a collective of women dealing with fibroids, endometriosis, and all sorts of things, right? Ovarian cysts, infertility. We have a whole bunch of women dealing with that. So we want to make sure that it's so important. Okay, Ashley's here. Okay, I'm about to bring you on in a second, Ashley. But yeah, so we have a whole collective of women dealing with reproductive health issues, with issues dealing with the womb. So I cannot stress enough how important it is that we go on this journey. If we're having issues with the womb, right, we go on this journey to heal our wombs in a natural way. And this is also how we reconnect with our bodies and how we reconnect with ourselves as well. Because most women, like I always say, do not understand their bodies, and this is at their own detriment. Okay. So I want to bring a special guest, our Detoxify Your Womb client, and just speak to her about how this process about healing her womb, how it was, it pretty much changed her life. Okay. I'm going to let her tell it though, and definitely ask a few questions. I'm going to bring her on camera. Okay. Really excited about this. This live is going to be really amazing. And if you're on here, please share this live because more women need to know the benefits of healing your womb. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, how are you? I'm gonna be on my best behavior for you, okay?
Oh, no problem, no problem. Yes, for some reason when I do I bring somebody on, I don't know, the volume is always really off, but let me see if I can turn this up.
What about,
Okay,
can you hear
no,
me
it's
now?
not that. That's okay. That's okay. But
Okay.
yes, so what was I gonna say? Hi, I'm so happy that you're able to join me on the live. And if you guys are having issues with hearing us, please let us know. Because I know that sometimes with Facebook Lives, it could be kind of wonky, okay? But really excited to have you on. And we're gonna ask you a series of questions, but I want you to tell your story, tell a little bit about yourself, tell your story when it comes to what you were dealing with as far as your womb and also, yeah, the whole process of that, because I know it's a long story. Okay.
And so, yes, I'm sharing this out for all of my community, all of my connections, because for me, I think that we just take these things lying down. And before I met you, um, my story of this being in my heritage, I really didn't know, Shasha, that this was something that had been in my family for years. A lot of us suffered in silence. So let's talk about that suffering, right? Let's talk about what that looked like. I was bleeding 21 days out of the month. Okay. When you talk about being married, when you talk about being a mother, when you talk about being able to run a business, go to a job. There are a lot of times where I had the opportunity to take stages, and I declined those opportunities because I would bleed so much to the point where I would pass out, right? I would
Wow.
pass out.
Wow.
I end up uh, reaching out to one of my family members, and I asked her, I said, now that I think of it, I think you've experienced something like this too. And she was sharing a story with me. She was like, if it gets to the point where they have to replenish you with blood, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad. And I'll never forget the weight gain. Hey, Shelly. And make sure y'all are sharing this because we don't talk enough
Yes.
about this, right? So
Please
many
share
of us
this.
are
Yeah.
embarrassed and we're ashamed. So for a lot of years of my life, the stress was so high. So it's we talk about womb health. I've been a professional athlete, and I have been working to get answers for majority of my life. It was not until I collided, and I say collided with Sasha. Every time she posts, I'm on her post. Every time she comments, I'm about where she is now because I got to the point where I got sick and tired. Sometimes we have to get sick and tired, Sasha, to decide that I don't have to live like this no more. How am I going to write a book about to pass out? The cramps. So let's talk about
And let
the
us
pain.
know that you guys can hear us perfectly. If you guys can hear us perfectly, both of us, put a one in the chat, please. Yeah. So
What
that we
was I
can.
experiencing? When you say share your story, I was
Yes.
cramping. I was literally falling down on my knees. Nobody knew that though, because that's just not who I am as a person, Sasha. But I was literally 21 days out of the month, I was cramping. It impacted my sexual life. I don't give a flip because I was married. I'm proud. Hey, hey, hey. It literally had me every birth control you can name. I've done them all. And when I met her, she was like, "What? You doing what? You have what? This is happening to you." Let's talk about my mood. First of all, because anybody that's cramping for that long, you cannot tell me that I was rude, I was nasty, I was uncomfortable. It impacted every area of my life. I was not able to run and play with my daughters. I have two daughters, one my co-pilot, y'all see, and one daughter that's a teenager. And my number one concern was, if I don't get control of this, Sasha, how am I going to coach my daughter? My daughter would tell me sometimes those cramps were so bad she had to stay home from school. And because I had conditioned myself for so long, I was like, "You're gonna get up like I get up."
Wow. So you were dealing with horrible periods, bleeding 21 days out of the month, and then your daughter was also experiencing really bad cramps.
cramps.
Wow.
And they were like, which led me up to the point, and we'll talk about it, like the cyst and all the other things that come with it. The women in my family were like, "Oh, I had a listen, the word, I didn't even know how to spell it, let alone pronounce it." Okay. I was reaching out to you in the hospitals. I was reaching out to you as they had me plugged up to the IV. I was reaching out to my coach. And she was like, "Left, right, top, down. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, yes, yes." So low energy, lethargic, mood swings, weight gain, because we know that when we don't feel good, the first thing we want to do is put all this trash in our mouth. I love chocolate.
Emotional eating.
I love bread. Now, mind you, as a professional athlete, Sasha, I experienced that. So when I met you, you know how when you meet a coach, you only tell them a little bit. You be like, "I'm just going to tell them the part I feel like they can handle. I'm not going to tell her this." So it impacted my marriage, okay? Because certain needs needed to be met. How are you going to do that if you cramping and falling over?
Exactly.
I knew the exam was going to take what? I think one time they told me it was going to take a couple months recovery or whatever. But needless, all the women in my life, all they went and did is they pulled their systems out. I don't know what you call it, but they had their systems removed. And then I'm like, even after your systems removed, you're still bleeding?
Yeah.
You paid all this money or insurance paid. So that's a little bit
So they
of
went through surgery and they were still bleeding afterwards.
Oh, it's horrible, I mean,
and that's why I tell them like these surgeries are, you may feel good for a little bit of time, but the problem is still there. The underlying problem is still there. So then it's just going to come back.
And then I start asking questions about premenopause, and I really was trying to weigh my options. So when I post and I put things like me connecting with you and following through this program, it's changed my life. It's changed the trajectory of my daughter's lives, right? Even my daughter is like, "Mommy, you're not cramping like you used to." Because you know your girl's gonna come in the bathroom. Okay, I call her little, like, okay, she is like adopted stuff, and she is the investigator. When I was in the hospital, I had actually was getting my hair done, y'all, and I had so much. You ever bled so much that it's coming through somebody's couch? Like, I want to say it to where the woman on the other side, I want y'all to understand.
Yes, they need to hear it, because a lot of women are experiencing this. A lot of women are suffering in silence and think that they have to live life like this, and they don't.
I was so afraid. So like when you put on clothes and it wasn't a little drop of blood. I'm talking about, have y'all bled to the point where you feel like a baby is coming out your womb? Like, I was like, you could feel it when it's dropping through. Like, I even thinking about it now. Now that's the thing of the past, and we'll talk about that too.
Thing of the past.
But I was like, when I met her, it was a 911 situation. She was like, wait, this is happening? Like, this is happening to you? I said, this is happening to me right now. She said, this is what I'm going to recommend. Now, you know your situation bad when you skip past.
And this was, please reiterate, this was the beginning when she first joined the program.
This was
like coming into it, she had to be in the emergency room. And so tell the story about what happened when, like, the first couple of days you were in the program, you told me you were in the emergency room. So tell them what happened.
Arguing with the physicians. I mean, they were looking at me like, who is this woman? What does she know? Does she have any degrees? What is she telling you, right? She must be doing ABCD. I said, I don't care. Hulu, Lulu, la la, whatever. All I know is that this pain is impacting my entire life. Can you fix it? Oh, we can fix it. We need you to go to appointment number 1. What do? Nothing, right? The first step in this process, I had birth control in my arm. I think it's called next one on something like that. I had birth control in my arm. The first thing she told me, y'all, as hiring her and starting this program, she said, you got to get that thing out. I said,
absolutely.
I argued with her. I said, baby, I just paid to have this. I said, do you know how much I paid for this? She said, how much is your life worth? And I'm saying that because I can say some of the stuff she probably not going to say because she care about your feelings. I care about your feelings too. But how much is your life worth that you don't want to pay another $3K? This is $3K was the first swipe. Okay. I went there and I had to argue with those people. They was like, no, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to have sex? Are you going to have baby? I said, at this point, I was losing almost a cup of blood. Listen to me. An hour. Not a day, not an hour. Can you imagine? Now, mind you, the rest of my life, I was stressed out, Sasha. Like I woke up one day and my life completely changed overnight. So I was already cramping to that capacity. When you add stress onto that, my body was losing so much blood that when I was getting my hair done, they had to rush me to the ER. Wow. She'll come and she'll tell you. Got in there. They had no answers for me. They had me plugged up to every machine. That's when I learned about the cyst. They performed some type of vaginal exam. Mm-hmm. She said, it must be the cyst that's sitting on the top of your, I don't know, you're the womb person, so she knows all the stuff. All I know is uterus. It's sitting on top of your uterus, which means that it's now pressing down, which is the reason why you're experiencing all of this. I said, okay, how do we fix it? Oh, well, I said, what's the size of the cyst? No answers.
And they didn't tell you until you were losing so much blood for how many months? They told you like at the last minute that you have cysts?
At the last minute. They said, if we put you up on the table, we might as well go ahead and cut you open because there's a possibility. Now this $30,000. We're almost 100% sure that if we go in there at the same time that we see the actual size of the cyst, which now I know the size because I didn't get up on the table, the size of the cyst, we'll just go ahead and perform a myectomy or whatever this is. Myomectomy. There we go. She's the expert. We're going to put you on the table and we're going to just cut it out. We're going to do it all in one. I said, but how can I stop this from happening in the future? Well, we don't know. Okay, so we're going to have to put you back on some. I said, I don't want to be back on any. I want to be natural. I want somebody to teach me how to eat clean, how to eat. Because my thing is, I was living to eat. That's the thing about it. We don't want to be honest. But I was living to eat because I was so uncomfortable. And then I got introduced and she was like, no, ma'am, now you're going to eat to live. Because now my life was depending on it. My ability to raise my children was dependent on it. My ability to continue. And none of my other coaching programs, everybody that's wanted to come to me, I said, I'm not going until I get this thing with my health coach. I'm not in nobody else's program because what good is building a business if you're not here to talk about it?
Exactly. And can you tell us about your mindset pretty much when you like left the doctor's office and also when you decided to join the program? Like what made you join the Detoxify Your Womb program?
No, I think I was devastated. It's one thing about bleeding and then there's another thing about you investing in yourself. When I made a decision because I knew taking the course was not going to be enough. My situation was so dire. Mm-hmm. I needed one-on-one access to an expert. We're not talking about somebody that Googled this. We're talking about somebody that can hear what you have going on and say, Ashlee, step one. And then she stayed with me, y'all. She held me accountable. She got in my inbox, especially when we talk about not eating bread and sugars and coffee and chocolate. And here's the caveat. And then she said I couldn't have no wine.
We're not going to get into all the food stuff because, people are going to freak out. But let's talk about pretty much like the process of what changes did you see in your womb? Because after bleeding for 21 days per month and losing so much blood, like how did that shift? Let's talk about that.
I saw an immediate cease within about 3 days. From enrolling in this program, 3 days.
3 days.
The blood whatever that thing was, it closed. I don't know what the terms are.
It's how I help women reset their cycles, but that's, yeah,
there you go.
when yeah, that's for the Detoxify Your Womb
I felt like,
clients.
okay, it's a hoax, right? Because this is what you're naturally feeling. Oh, this is just a short term. Then I start realizing I had more energy. Then I start realizing, okay, I can really do this. Right? So a lot of it is when you say where my mindset was, I was in a state of shock because I had never heard anyone in my family overcome this. Everyone gave me advice and said, this is something you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. I said, I don't believe that report.
Wow.
So in 3 days, I called everybody.
And tell us how your menstrual cycles are now. And this was like about 3-4 months ago. How are your menstrual cycles up? Like, how are they now?
So I call it my internal warning system. You know how like your back start hurting a couple of days, I call them your top parts, start getting really, really sore and sensitive. You can start feeling like the headaches and all the intensity and all of those things. I have now had menstrual. Sometimes I don't even know when I'm on my period. Do you hear me? My daughter's not coming in and out the bathroom because she feels like a whole operation is being had because mommy's on the floor. I don't experience those things anymore. Before that, one of the things you challenged me with was finding out the length of time, right? Because they have all this apps and stuff. The length of time between. I had given up all hope, Sasha. What was the point of having an app? Because it was 21 days out of 30. So as soon as I got relief, I was back bleeding again. I have now reset my entire, that means it's like clockwork, okay? So when mama want to go to the beach, I can go to the beach. When I take the stages, I can take the stages. When I need to do speaking engagements, I can do speaking engagements. When I need to go for a walk with my daughter, I'm not worrying about bleeding through. I'm talking about like, when we're talking about pads, we talking about the extra, you know, them overnights, the ones that stretch from the front to the back. Yeah. And then you need 2 of them. Or if you put on a tampon, you need 2 one tampon, 2 pads. Like, this is real stuff. I don't experience any of that anymore. I'm now able to do thin, not thick with wings, thin, right? It's not coming through. When I stand up on stages, I speak. It's the least of my worries and concerns. And then let's talk about weight loss. Let's not forget that.
Let's talk about how many, so your cycles, you're saying that you don't bleed as much. I want to know tell people how long are your cycles now? Because it's not 21 days anymore.
3 days. And
she went from 21-day cycles to 3-day cycles, ladies. Hi, Psychic Serenity. Hey, ladies coming in. So I'm talking to a Detoxify Your Womb client, and she's telling you the process of what healing her womb, how it changed her entire life, okay? Because I think that enough women understand, you know, that have reproductive health issues, how important it is for them to actually heal this stuff naturally and stop going through these surgeries that you're not gonna see relief, okay? Yeah.
It's so light.
Go ahead. So they're 3 days light. Now. They went from 21 days to 3 days.
3 days, no cramping. You know, it's funny because I've lived most of my life this way. So I'm trying to think. It's so regulated now. I have a life. I can actually plan out my calendar. I can go to the beach. I can play with my daughters. I'm back regularly scheduling my client calls and stuff like that. I mean, I don't have words for it. I don't have to worry about mood swings. You know, we talk about things like depression and anxiety. Like if you read some of those symptoms from some of those contraceptives, whatever it is that you're using, because my thing is, Asha, we're trying to cope. Yeah. We're trying to I don't know. It's like
nobody wants to heal. People are just trying to cope for the moment, suppress their symptoms. And that's why you have recurring issues. Your fibroids keep coming back. Your cysts keep coming back. Now I want to ask you about your cysts because you mentioned that they said you had cysts earlier. I know you haven't gone to check, but how do you feel about it? Like how your cysts are now? Do you feel like they shrunk, or how do you feel now?
I am 100% confident that they have, because I feel that my focus shifted from just mitigating the pain to actually healing my womb. I'm so confident. Every time I do a checkup, when I go to my regular physicians, they are floored. The results that they are seeing from blood pressure on, they're like, I don't see how this woman, how are you still standing? Because remember, when I first met them, I was in a position to pass out, not just from the ER. they send you back to your regular physician. So they are, every time they look at my chart, they're trying to understand that, sis, even if we were to do a non-vaginal exam or whatever, I'm 100% confident. And that's the thing. But here we were going to do a $30,000 operation off of something that within weeks could shrink on its own.
Within weeks. That's crazy to me that so many women sign up for that. And there's women out there. How do you feel about women out there that know that, there's people, people out there to help them shrink their cysts, that shrink their fibroids and heal their womb, restore their hormonal balance, improve the health of their body, and improve the health of also their future children, because we pass these things down to our children, right? We pass these
Yes,
issues with our cycles, fibroids, like we pass this
all of it.
estrogen dominance, like I said in my live yesterday, increases your risk for breast cancer, meaning that fibroids increase your risk for breast cancer, right? So how do you feel that women are hearing this and still opting for surgery to find relief?
I don't have any judgment, right? Because I think that, the way I operate, Sasha, is I try to draw people through love. I
Yeah.
feel if I share enough of my story and the suffering, but I also share with you the success of this program, completing this program, and following the direction of my coach, I hope that somebody on the other end is going to know that it's worth it. All the things that they keep telling you that you have to live with, here I was going to perpetuate this same pain to my daughter. What, that don't make sense. Does it make sense? When you can fix it, why wouldn't you want to fix it, right? That's all I'm going to say. Whether or not they choose to hang on to it, the choice is there. All I can
Absolutely.
tell them is that for me, I'm glad I can now go back to my family and say, guess what? Nobody had to chop me open. Nope, I didn't get thrown into premature menopause. Still in my 30s, okay? When I cross over to the 40s, that's different. But I'm still able to bear children, though my life has significantly changed. If I decide I want to have children again, I want to know that I could do that because I wasn't in there allowing somebody to experiment on me. Because that's
Exactly.
basically what the guy told me. We've been doing a clinical trial in the study, and it sounds like some of the things that you're experiencing are similar to some of the other people, and we've seen success. What's success? What is the percentage of success and what happened? He told me, if you get up here and do a myomectomy or whatever, you can walk out the same day. I said, ain't no way. There's no way you can get up there,
That's not
have somebody
true.
chop into your little parts, and you're telling me that I can walk away? No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's not true. They sold me that lie a long time ago as well. But I want to know, how did being in the Detoxify Your Womb program, how did it improve not only your womb drastically, your hormonal health drastically, how did it also improve other areas of your life? I'm talking about your emotional well-being, like your
Yeah,
sanity, because you weren't bleeding as much. Also
yeah.
knowing that you're able to, have more energy and just be in your child's life more. How did it improve?
Number one, it saved me that $30,000. Can we talk about the money that we saved? Can we talk about the time that I didn't need to take off from my work? Let's talk about the mental and the emotional wellness, right? Because there's a part of you that's like, my God, what is wrong with me, right? That I have to deal with this, that, right? They say, I don't want to be on a strong list no more. That you feel like I could bleed 21 days out of the month and have a fair and a fighting chance. It's almost an impossibility, right? Though I did it, Sasha, and I did it to the best of my ability. Let's talk about my skin looking like I'm glowing. I get so many compliments, and I don't even really wear makeup. I was gonna do it for you, but whatever.
No, be
I get
yourself.
so many compliments, and people are like, "Your skin is beautiful." When I step out of my home and I do my physical activities, I am not exhausted, y'all. Like, I mean, when you bleed like that, it does not make you want to get up out of bed. I'm be honest. These are the conversations people want to have, Sasha, but I don't care. If it's going to save somebody, when you lay down and you know that when you stand up, it feels like the gravity of the world is pulling on your womb to the floor. Who wants to get up? When you know that you have to go to the bathroom 7 to 8 times. I'm talking about balls. Like I was trying to, like, I know y'all, well, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Like you
They
are
know,
trying to
yeah.
plug it up because you're losing that much. What else would I say? I like that I'm the person that I feel like on some levels that I defy gravity. I love leading with that, because here it is. People told me that you so and so did it, and this person did it, and guess what? You're going to have to do it too. I have now changed the entire trajectory of the line that comes after me. I can't speak for the women before me. Listen, praise, you did what you had to do.
Exactly.
But
And
I
hi
made
to
a
the
choice.
ladies coming in. Sorry. I
Hey
just want to say
y'all.
hi, Joe. Hi, Kenise. If you guys have questions, this is my client. This talks about your womb client. She's talking about how womb healing changed her entire life. If y'all have questions, please feel free to ask. Okay.
Yeah, and put it. I will share with you guys that I believe that she's the best of the best. I believe that she is not only qualified because she shares her life story. She never made me feel like, how did you get here and why did you live with this so long? That was never her concern. She was 100% confident that she can help me, and she did everything times 10, y'all. I'm talking about above and beyond, from the hospital room, like, or what do you call it, from the hospital bed. I was plugged up on IVs. I had so many exams, and it's bad when the doctors. I had two or three physicians. Now, mind you, they look like me. They were like bamboozled, like I had came in there like it was a shock to them. I'm like, how is this a shock to you? They ran every test, and that hospital bill, that bill was going skyrocket through the roof. And I met that man one time, 45 minutes, and his only determination was, you need a myomectomy. We'll go into your insides, girl parts, and while we're in your girl parts, we'll go ahead and clip it. So if it was 4 inches, 6 inches, we'll just chop it all down. We're gonna play with your inside parts.
Slice into your womb. That's what they do.
And you'll be okay. I said, so is this what my daughters are gonna have to do? They're gonna have to get up and I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I
And
got up.
And a lot of women who are dealing with fibroids, their daughters are getting fibroids as a teenager. So are you gonna? I wonder if they're gonna force their daughters to have to go through this procedure as well. Since
my daughter declined.
Since we're unwilling to do the work. Some of us are unwilling to do the work to actually heal our wombs. So Joe asks a question. Well, she made a comment. Your experience sounds crazy. I'm so grateful for you sharing your situation. So you want,
but I'm glad that you say that sounds crazy, Joe. But listen, when you grow up in a family, it wasn't crazy to my family. 21 days, that was not crazy to them. It was normal. It was not until I went searching. You know how y'all search to the ends of the earth. And I watched her and I studied her. And I said, one day I'm good. One day, and I guess I had to, please don't be like me. Don't wait till it gets so bad. That's what I'm trying. Don't wait to the point where you're about to pass out on your steps. My daughter's 7. How selfish was that to put her in that position? She had been watching me 21 days, lethargic, tired. And when it comes to your emotional work, like I said, you don't even want to get out of bed. I lost so much money because you're declining appointments. No, I can't. Now I'm like, hey, I have done TV shows. I have talk shows lined up. They have written magazine articles about me. You know why? Because I tell people like it is. And that's how Sasha is. The same person that you see that gets on here, she was in that thing with me. I hate that you're experiencing this. But if you do what I tell you to do, right? And that's that mindset. Sometimes we're so closed-minded, Sasha. I'm just going to do what my mom and them did. My grandmama, it didn't work for your mom and grandmama.
Exactly. And I was hard on you in the beginning because I was like, this is what we're going to do. You was like, I don't know about that.
I feel like
I was like, no, this is what
we're
going to do.
She thought, like when I did that intake, I put a lot of stuff on that form. Yeah. She understood that form. She's not somebody, y'all, who's just taking and, I tell people all the time, it's never about an invoice, right? It's about the invoice. Let me be clear, because I told her she needed to increase her price. So let me be clear about that. I told her, even as a graduate, I would pay again and I would pay double. Let me say that again. As a graduate, I would pay again and I would pay it double. You know why? I was going to take that wrong information and put my child on birth control. I was going to take that same information and tell my child when she got to this age, mom, everybody did it, so now you're going to climb up on the table too. I hope you make it. Some people don't live through this. They don't. Some people enter into premenopause and it's too much on their mind. It's too much on their heart. It's too much on their marriage. It's too like,
Absolutely.
please love yourself enough, right? I am a coach just like she is. And whenever I meet coaches that are like just as passionate, like I love that, y'all.
Yeah.
I was sing her praises. That's why I would do a live with you. If it's the difference between a woman trying to decide, I will come on here and do that.
So,
because it would cost me $30,000 to find out that it wasn't gonna work.
And for it to come back, that's how the surgery is. So somebody said something, Joe said something. She said she's in London, she's dealing with issues that are impacting her daily life. So I'm assuming that their reproductive health issues, maybe bleeding issues as well. So, but Joe, we're sending you love. Definitely. I don't know if you've been following me, but if you do not have to deal with this, right? You do not have to deal with reproductive issues that are impacting your quality of life. Okay. So if you want to inbox me, but know that I can really help you, not just get rid of these issues, but also restore the balance in your body. Because this is important. This is why she feels better, right? This is why she's noticing like her cycles went from 21 days to 3 days, right? Because she's restored the balance in her womb, in her body, right? So dim Vitex, that's not going to help you do that, right? So it's a full, whenever you have cysts, fibroids, any of these reproductive health issues, it's a full body issue. Okay, it's a full body issue. So women, we got to stop suffering in silence. Number one, we have to stop repeatedly, like just going months and years without doing anything different, right? And we also have to stop looking for quick fixes, because guess what? Quick fixes don't get to the root cause of the problem. How about we, get to the root cause of the problem, solve the problem from the root? And now that Ashlee has done that, she's seen improvements in all areas of her life, from her mental health to her physical health, to her career, to also how you feel as a woman as well. Because let's be honest, when we have these really bad cycles, when we have these, these fibroids, these cysts, that does take a toll on our womanhood as well. Like, how do you feel like yourself? How do you feel like, in your feminine essence when you having issues with you having all these issues and it's impacting your daily life, right? How do you feel sexy with fibroids? Like, it's just, it really does impact how you feel. I'm being real because I've been through this before, okay? And some of these are uncomfortable conversations, but you have to love yourself enough to want better. You have to love yourself enough to want to not only just seek temporary relief, but to seek real healing, right? So I just want more and more women. I wanted to do this live. I think it's very important to see the process of a woman, amazing woman like Ashlee, going from a 21-day cycle, right, to now having normal, healthy cycles that are 3 days. She don't even know when they're coming, right? She gets to live her life. And she also gets to inspire her daughter to not also deal with this crap, right? Because a lot of like, if your daughters are seeing you dealing with the heavy cycles, all this bleeding, what are they gonna think is normal, right? They're gonna normalize this in their brain. You gotta understand, like, we have to save not just ourselves, but the next generation as well. Okay, because you cannot say that you care about the next generation of women coming up, girls coming up, when you're not doing anything to better yourself. They're just watching what you do. Okay, they're just gonna watch what you do and do the same things, just like we did with our mothers. Okay, so I just want people to understand that, if you want better for the next generation, it starts with this. How can we say we want better when we can't even help them restore hormonal balance? When your hormones are out of balance, your entire being is out of balance. Your brain chemistry is out of balance. And how can we say we care about the next generation when we're putting them on birth control? That's crazy to me, right? Birth control that is literally pumping them with synthetic hormones every single day. And you think that your body does not know the difference between fake hormones and your own natural hormones? Like, we have to cut it out. These hormones are increasing your risk for cancer. These reproductive health issues, fibroids, heavy bleeding, they're increasing your risk for cancer when you just continue to let them go on and do not get to the root cause of the problem. But the good part is that you can actually heal your body, heal your womb. Okay. And I just want to say that I do have a masterclass with ladies that are having, bad cycles, difficult cycles, heavy bleeding, long cycles. I have a free masterclass on Wednesday. Okay. Make sure you guys are there, called How to Naturally Ease Difficult Menstrual Cycles. Wednesday. Register for it. You can click the link in my caption. Make sure you register for it. Okay. It's a free masterclass. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. So you will not get the Zoom details unless you are registered. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that you shared also too how this not only improved your life, but also like you also your daughter, how your relationship with your daughter, and also other areas of your life as well. And I'm happy that you hit on the whole marriage thing, the relationship thing as well, because that's, I mean, we have to be real, right? That it also improves that as well. So now I want to ask you, Ashlee, why is this so important for every woman, especially a woman that's dealing with heavy, reproductive health issues, to go on a womb healing journey to actually heal her womb naturally? Why is that so important?
I think that we deserve that. I know that we deserve that. Let me clarify that. I feel like as women, we are always worried about the next person. And I don't care if your mother, some people don't have, like my pet mamas, right? I call them my pet mamas. We owe it to them, the ones that we love, the ones that we have to take care of, to put ourselves first. And when I invested, and I say this because this year has been one of the hardest years. If y'all follow me or have been following me, my stress level was so high that I was sending her pictures of my blood pressure from the physician's office. Okay. So if I could make this investment at a time in my life where there were so many other demands, right? Because as women, we're stretched thin. If you work and run a business, you're burning the midnight oil on both sides. If you're a mother or a pet mama, right, we're stretched. And so for me, Sasha, my thing is I could tell them anything. For once in my life, I invested in myself, and my return on investment 10x. I was leaving her voice messages like, this works. Oh my gosh. We were celebrating wins within days of the program. I can't speak for anyone else's program. I can't speak with anybody else you following on TikTok. One thing I can say is binge off of her information. It works. But why not hear from the horse's mouth? Right? So you are shortening yourself by just watching the content. Why not come into the community? And that was the other part we didn't touch on. It's one thing to invest in yourself and go on this journey. It's another thing to see other people's success stories of people having their womb healed, people not being able to have kids. I'm like, oh my gosh, she got pregnant.
Yes.
Oh my God. If the community topped it off. So I don't care what level, what tier you need to try to invest. I'm just going to tell you, I went to the top because I had a 911 emergency. I didn't have time to binge nobody content. I needed to hear direct from the source.
Yeah. And every year,
that's what I can say.
One thing, every year, tens of thousands of women are being rushed to the emergency room due to fibroids, due to heavy bleeding, due to these reproductive health issues every year, annually. And I get so many messages of women saying, I've been rushed to the ER, I've been rushed to the hospital. So this is actually very common, unfortunately. So some people are watching this and saying that this is a drastic situation. It is drastic, but it's more common than you think. Okay. So how's your blood pressure now? Because I know that it was really high when you were going through all that bleeding.
Listen, when it's so high that people don't want to release you, I said, no, I gotta go. I have to go. So one way or the other, we're gonna get this. I'm gonna sit here till it comes down. It's bad when it's over 180. Like when you start pressing into those numbers, it gets really bad. So I feel like the numbers that I'm at right now, Sasha, the physicians, we dance. I mean, we shimmy because I have come a mighty long way. But I didn't accept that part either. I didn't know that this was going to impact my blood pressure. I didn't know that I also was going to experience weight loss. I didn't know that my stress level was also going to, exactly, Taquanda said, so sad. More and more women are going through this. You know why? Because we perpetuate the cycle. Yeah. Had I not met Sasha, I wouldn't have known.
And Taquanda is one of my other amazing clients. Hi, Taquanda.
And I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known that this is a better way, the fertility components of it, or just your ability to go out with your friends, to not have to cancel those appointments. I think that You know, we need to be mindful of that. And if you can't do it by yourself, get into a community.
Yes.
It's not just the investment, but you got to see this thing through to the end. I want to celebrate with more women who made an investment in themselves, who can give reports, real reports, y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God. I'm so proud of you.
I know
So
you
proud
are.
of you,
I'm
Ashlee. Oh my
proud too.
gosh. So proud of you. You've come a long way. And oh, you didn't say how your blood pressure is now, like what the numbers now, because
I'm in the 120s now.
Woo,
I am in the
yes.
120s, y'all.
That's a
I
huge
had to.
deal.
I can show you my blood pressure machine. It's bad when they have you day to day to day.
Yeah.
I had to take it 2 or 3 times per day, because remember, it's not just blood pressure. Sometimes your stress can get so high you can have a stroke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Rosie, I'm believing that things are going to turn around for you. I'm believing
Absolutely.
that it's going to happen, because yeah, I've been there. But one thing I
Mm-hmm.
committed, if we can go eat all these different places, we can make that investment. Like, I'm not trying to beat
Exactly.
nobody up. What I'm saying is, come up with it. If
And
don't be like me.
we have plans. We do have payment plans. We do have Klarna and Afterpay, and also we do have self-study courses as well. Some women start off with the courses. We have one course that's 222, 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids, full bundle course. Okay, had somebody on TikTok live buy that yesterday. It's an
Yes.
amazing course, and I still have it on sale. So it's at a point where we have things at every tier.
Yes.
I hate to say it's no excuse, but it's really no excuse, right? If you want to invest in yourself, you're going to do it. If it's important enough to you, you're gonna do it. Okay.
Yes. Listen, I was what I call it, selling juju juice.
It's
I
not
was
that.
literally.
Let's not scare people. It ain't that.
I'm not gonna scare y'all. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Forgive me, y'all. What I'm saying is, she has watched me do what I needed to do to make my health a priority. And
Absolutely.
I find that when we want it bad enough, like she said, when we make a decision, I decided that this was the last year I wanted to endure this.
Yes.
And this was the last year I had to. That's why when she said get in my master class, I would come to the master class to watch all those people, to celebrate, because I know you're going to see the results. But I'm not going in there because I'm bleeding for 21 days. I'm not going in there because my daughter saw me pass out on stage. I'm not going in there because I was trying to get my hair done. And that's bad when you got to get your hair done, because you don't know how long you're going to be in the hospital.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Thank you so much, Taquanda. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're an amazing client. Amazing. And she has seen lots of success as well on this journey. So Ashlee, you're absolutely amazing. I want to thank you so much for being on this live with me, and also being an amazing client, and just seeing, I'm so proud of you. From literally, I know I was a little hard on you in the beginning, because I said, we got to do this. But you, even when you felt, a little, I don't know about this, you listened and you just trusted me. And I really appreciate you for that. You trusted me, you went
Don't make me
fully
cry.
in. You went in, and you was like, okay, we're doing this. And you saw results so quickly. To go from bleeding for 21 days, being in the hospital, to seeing relief within 3 days of being in the program. Hello, like the Detoxify Your Womb program is life changing. And now she can go into 2024 on, way different than how she came into 2023. Okay. So this is just this program is life changing, and it is really changing lives, and we're going to do even more in 2024. So listen, and how I have my program now is that it's for exclusive top tier women, like Ashlee, like to exclusive top tier women. Okay, women that are wanting to do the work, women that are wanting to commit to themselves, that want to invest in themselves, that actually are serious about healing their womb and being on their womb health journey. So if you're interested in being in the Detoxify Your Womb program, DM me, okay? You can email me as well, and we'll talk about it, because you do have to qualify before being in the program, okay?
Yes.
So we ask a couple of questions, and then we get you started, okay? This program, I want it to be a blessing, actual blessing in women's lives, okay?
Yes. And last piece, and I'm done. On my platform, I want you guys to understand that there's a responsibility to take care of your temple. And I find that a lot of us in the realm of business or leadership, we find every excuse in the book to not do that. But we are all going to have to give an account. I don't care what you believe. You can get mad if you want to. but we're all going to have to give an account. And for me, Sasha, I wanted to be able to stand there and give a good account. I wanted to hear well done,
Yes.
right? So that was my number one thing. And all that I do is excellency. So when she's saying qualify, yes, excellency. You want to be in a space with other women
Yes.
that are high performers, right?
Yes.
And it can be embarrassing because you're like, I'm so successful in all these areas of my life, but when it came to my womb, that was not an area of success, and that was my biggest pain. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for accepting me, right? I appreciate you for telling me like it is, because sometimes we can tell people and you don't know what people are gonna say. And I value that. I think that we need to give people their flowers while they're here. We can't
Thank
take those
you.
things for granted. And my life will be forever changed. The life of my daughters will be forever changed. That I don't have to tell them to get anything plugged into their arm or for them to take pills for the rest of their life. No, no, there is a better way. And I hope that this has blessed somebody,
Yes.
to heal, to detoxify, to reset, to re-engage, to reinforce, whatever the word is you need to say for 2024, but do something, right? And like I said, I'm available. Any questions? If you're intimidated, because I was, I'm not gonna get up here and tell these people about bliss. I ain't gonna do. I wouldn't have done that months prior, but the
Yeah.
results are so great that like I don't even know now. I don't even have to track it on the calendar. I don't have to be fearful that I cannot plan an event or an engagement
Yes.
because I'm gonna bleed through my clothes.
Yeah.
I don't worry about that anymore.
So many women, so many women are paranoid about that, and it's sad. Like we can't. There's so many women, like I said before, suffering in silence, and they think that this has to be their life, and it does not have to be your life. It doesn't
No.
have to be your life. So I just want women watching to be encouraged to know that there is a better way. Okay, you can heal. Stop, listening to physicians telling you that this is, you have to go through, you have to get cut open in order to heal, because that's not healing. That's just, again, you having, having a quick fix, doing a quick fix, right? And we want to get past that, especially as we approach 2024. Okay, life is hard enough. We cannot walk around with fibroids and cysts and all these issues and unbalanced hormones. And we have 19% of Black women that are infertile. So this is serious issues, right? We have so many of this bleeding, and normalizing it. So thank you again. Thank you so much for being here. I want to, again, for women that are watching, my masterclass, my free masterclass, How to Naturally Ease Difficult Menstrual Cycles, is on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you know somebody even with really bad menstrual cycles, please tell them about it. Send them the link. The link is in my caption. Share this video. Somebody needs to see it. Okay, please share this video. Okay. And I appreciate everybody for being here. I appreciate all of you for watching this. This is an amazing live. And yeah, and if you're interested in the Detoxify Your Womb program, which is the program that Ashlee was in, please send me a DM. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's if
And
you're going through
ask as
issues
many
and you need
questions, y'all.
relief and
There's
you're
no
ready
stupid
to do the
question.
work and you're ready to invest in yourself, let's talk about it. All right. So you want to say any last words before we go?
Just don't be afraid to ask questions when you're sitting there in that physician's office. When you go to that master class, don't sit there and accept it. Be willing to question it, especially if you're only meeting these people for 20 minutes. Ask the questions. Don't be so quick to just sign up and take their word for it. Ask the questions, because once that operation is done, it's a done deal. There's no more asking questions once you're done. Was you off that table? And I get people have different stories. I'm just telling you my story. Thank you, Joe. I'm gonna hold you
Thank
to that,
you.
Joe.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome,
be in your
Joe.
inbox. Okay. All right.
All
Have
right.
an amazing day.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching.